New leader at Dover Downs International Speedway, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is back out in front of the MBNA Cal Ripken Jr. 400. Ricky Craven now second. Ron Hornaday is taken third away from Jeremy Mayfield. Let's look at the lead change.
Junior got that lead the old-fashioned way. He just knocked him out of the way to take it. Watch the left rear of the bumper cover. Kept the thing push in. There's no doubt contact between the two. Ricky Craven saves the car but loses the position. You see, you can't really tell how much. And we can see the bumper cover bend in even at that angle.
Clear low, clear low. All clear, all clear.
So Dale Jr. now out in front. Craven now fighting with Hornaday for second. Rudd is taken fourth away from Mayfield, who's fallen back to fifth. It's been a great racetrack for Dale Earnhardt Jr. 2 wins in 4 NASCAR Busch Series events. And his worst Winston Cup finish is 16th in 3 tries. And we talked with Dale earlier in the weekend about why this racetrack has been so good for him.
The reason why I run so well here is that the track's really forgiving for a driver who may overdrive the car a little bit or make a lot of mental errors and stuff like that. So it's got a lot of banking to save the car when you get out of control. You got a lot of banking to save the car from overdriving the corner and slow it down getting in the corner.
That's pretty candid, isn't it? He said, I have a tendency to overdrive the car, and this racetrack will let me do it.
Did you ever overdrive here?
Yeah, I'm sure I have.
You won here a couple times.
Yeah, I've won here a couple times, but going down in these corners, you really do have a tendency to overdrive because this is a racetrack. You need to be aggressive, but if you go over that line, then you've ruined your chances.
Dale Jr. has opened up a 1.6 second lead on Ricky Craven. Check the interval. There it is. And now Craven fights with Hornaday for the runner-up spot. Let's check in on pit road with Dave Burns.
And this weekend, Mike Beam makes his 500th career start as a crew chief. And a few of those now have been with Ricky Craven, but his first win was right here with another guy, Bill Elliott, back in 1990. It's always good to come to a place that you know well and a place where you've won before, but Mike tells me he doesn't feel old enough to have started 500 races. Also tells me right now their car is neutral. It's just not quite as quick as Junior's.
Last lap by is about a half a mile an hour slower than Dale Jr.'s.
And this racetrack has always been tough on going down the corner and the car sliding across the racetrack. Those front tires sliding across the racetrack. As we see Ricky Rudd trying to take that spot away from Hornaday. And one of the things that the teams do to try to help that car turn is increase the camber in the right front. We'll go inside our virtual garage and show you exactly what we're talking about. There we see the car. That's zero camber. They lean the car, and that's negative camber. And believe it or not, that's what makes the tire turn better. But you see, the contact patch is so very, very narrow. When you go in the corner, it's supposed to. The tire's supposed to come out so that the contact patch comes all the way across the tire. Unfortunately, the more you lean that tire in, the less it makes contact all the way across the tire, and you wear the inside of the tire. And sometimes these guys will really lay that tire in. What happens after 70, 80 laps, you wear that right front tire out, you blow it, and in the wall you go.
Let's check in on our championship leader, and he has moved into the top 10. As we watch Rudd go after Craven for second.
And takes that spot away with ease.
Thank you very much.
And you see
wave
that
out the window.
You see that big star on the hood of the 28 car has been replaced this week with an American flag.
All right, I mentioned the championship leaders moved into the top 10. There's Jeff Gordon up to 7.
Isn't that amazing?
He's not worried now.
Started back in 23rd. He's going to work on Dale Jarrett. See if caution. Trouble in turn 1. Jeremy Mayfield into the wall. What was that you were talking about a minute ago?
He's got a
right front tire. Looks to me like he has lost the right front tire.
Right.
Second caution, 55 laps in.
You see a little fire under the car. It's knocked the exhaust system off the car. Those are the tailpipes. Folks, no one runs across those. And I hope Jeremy is okay. Hard lick.
Mayfield running 9th at the time of the crash.
You see the fluid running across the racetrack. Water, oil. And finally, we see Jeremy starting to move inside the car. The window net has been taken down.
Yeah, that's a good sign there. There aren't many easy hits here at Dover.
No. And I'm sure all the cars, here they come. Everyone will be down pit road this time.
Leaders did not stop on the first caution. Most of the guys in the back half of the field did. Now they'll all come in. Stops at lap 55, Bill.
And Ron Hornaday will be one of the first to hit his stall just at the start-finish line. Outstanding start for Hornaday. Car just a little bit tight, going to loosen it up with a chassis adjustment in the left rear. Other than that, it's 4 tires and fuel. The wedge wrenches in. They make the chassis adjustment. Hornaday getting tires and fuel. Whole head back out. Dave Burns.
Bill, the leader is in, Dale Earnhardt Jr. He asked for just a slight air pressure adjustment. The car was just a little bit tight in the middle of the corner. He's very good at turns 3 and 4, and he said, just make it a half-pound adjustment. I don't want much. He's going to get beat out of the pits by Ricky Rudd.
Matt and Tony Stewart entered pit road fifth. He was bad loose. They made 1.5 rounds in on the right rear of wedge, and they also went up 1 pound of air pressure in the right front. He said he wasn't concerned about the leader, who he's only 1/10 off of on the stopwatch. His biggest concern, the 24 of Jeff Gordon. He was coming fast.
Let's check the race off pit road. How they got to that all-important scoring stripe. Ricky Rudd is going to get out first.
Ever see Rudd go by? Earnhardt Jr. Boy, big gap back to Dale Jarrett. Then Tony Stewart. Ricky Craven barely beats. Who was that?
Jeff Gordon.
Yep. And Rusty Wallace. So Gordon has moved up to the, what, 6th position?
Under caution, Jeremy Mayfield has climbed from his car and walked to the ambulance for the ride to the infield care center.
NBC's coverage of the MBNA Cal Ripken Jr. 400 is brought to you by UPS, the official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck. By Conseco, Step Up, and by Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Burn fat, crush cravings, and supercharge your energy. And we welcome you back to Dover. Ricky Rudd and the rest of the field still under caution here at the Monster Mile as we continue the MBNA Cal Ripken Jr. 400. For Ricky Rudd, it is certainly a challenging day, as it is for the other drivers in this sport. It has been 12 difficult days for every American and every friend of this nation. Today, these drivers went back to work in the toy department. And while it's their job, Rudd knows to them, it's something a little different to provide to the fans.
Racing is entertainment for a lot of people, and it's going to definitely be excitement when you put 43 guys together on a racetrack and only one winner is going to be declared. So they're going to see the excitement. Hopefully just ease their minds just a little bit, get their minds off of what's been going on for the last week or so.
Ricky Rudd out front, and of course on the front of his car, the American flag. Rudd saluting NASCAR fans, but also very careful this weekend to mention family in his thoughts when you talk about his job, his work, and his country. Now, let's move further down pit road to Marty Snyder.
And Bill, this is one of the men who may be serving our country. This is Chris Passantino. He works on Michael Waltrip's crew. He is an inactive Navy SEAL. He has been given notification that he needs to go get his physical. He may be called up. He is wearing his dog tags. He said if he does need to go, he is ready to go serve our country. Alan?
Marty, thanks. We've heard several stories similar to that throughout the NASCAR community that we'll hear throughout the course of today. And we were talking yesterday with one of the members of a race team whose brother is a missing New York firefighter, one of the NASCAR Busch Series teams. He'd been up in New York all week and came down here just for a day, a getaway, to go back to his normal life if he could and work on a race car for a day. Then today it was back to New York to continue the search for his brother. And that was the Armando Fitz-owned team that Ron Hornaday drives for. Still cleaning up from Jeremy Mayfield's crash, so let's take a break. It is Ricky Rudd leading at Dover. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Checking our Wendy's race menu as we continue to watch the championship all the way down to the season's conclusion. Kansas City, brand new racetrack next Sunday here on NBC, and the atmosphere around that one is going to be something. Fans have been ready for that race. Then it's on to Charlotte, the short track in Martinsville, and the giant Talladega Superspeedway. You'll see them all with NASCAR on NBC over the next 4 weeks.
As a matter of fact, I think Mike Helton this morning in the driver's meeting, he announced that the Talladega rules would be the same for the race coming up in Talladega as we raced in Daytona.
Said there'd be a slight modification for the Fords, but other than that, it'd be the same package. Everybody's remembering the heroes. Let's check our NASCAR Busch Series update. Yesterday, Jeff Green scored a surprise win. Ryan Newman dominated the race. Bott got bounced back in traffic after Green took 2 tires on a last pit stop. Kevin Harvick opened a little more ground on Jason Keller in the Busch Series championship as they move toward conclusion of their series. Here's our Craftsman Truck Series update. Their scheduled race last weekend at Texas Motor Speedway was postponed until October the 5th. Jack Sprague leads a very tight championship chase. They race next in South Boston, Virginia. Let's check in with our leaders team, and here's Dave Burns.
And Alan, that was obviously a very quick pit stop for Ricky Rudd, and they had to make absolutely no changes to the car. That was one reason why they got around the thing so fast, and the crew was high-fiving each other saying, bring it on, give us more. But let me remind you, this is the same kind of car that Ricky had when he won at Richmond 2 weeks ago. They made very minor changes all evening long, and Ricky ended up winning that race. It sounds like these guys are really on their game.
Don't you love those glasses?
Or Michael McSwain wears?
Fatback's glasses?
Oh, yeah. He's the man, Michael.
He might be one of the most positive people that you'll find around the garage area. Check it out. That's Michael signaling that the restart has been waved off for another lap. So let's take a break while we wait for the restart. It is Ricky Rudd, Michael McSwain's driver, who's leading at Dover.
Fixing up my car, stand up and chill. Go where I want to go, I'm a free man here.